dish. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Candice Cooper, and we're here to talk about like everything, okay? Conspiracy, pop culture, astrology, astrocartography, everything. We're going to talk about it all. Okay. Woo! Happy Monday. I am so excited because, so this is my Orgain vanilla protein shake. It's very important that we as women and men as well incorporate more protein into our diet, because not only are our muscles made up of protein, but our eyes, our skin, our hair, our fingernails, protein. I'm sorry, but these are so flipping good. And I don't know why I haven't been drinking them forever and ever and ever and ever. Because they're delicious. It's like a milkshake, but healthy for you. I want to go on like a 5-second rant, because when I went to get my Orgain shake, I had to do like some other shopping at CVS. So I got like paper towels, whatever. I get up to the register, I pay. And then I go, oh shit, I forgot my protein shake. And the guy was like, very nice. Let's just preface it with that. But he like wasn't in great health. And he was like, oh yeah, I never like eat protein or drink protein or anything like that. And in my mind, I'm like, what happened in society where it's like a badge of honor to not do things that are good for us? Like, I grew up in the era of like, who are you, like, to be conceited, you know? I got a lot of, you think who you are because you walk with your head held high. And I was like, are we supposed to be like wallflowers and just shrink away? Yes, because even when I went to play softball one day, I was playing with this guy and he was like, you know, not in great health or whatever. And we were talking about Dutch Bros and what our favorite order is. And I was like, yeah, the coffee there is kind of just like not strong enough. And he was like, oh, well, I don't get coffee. And I was like, well, what do you get? And he was like, he rattled off some crazy drink that was loaded with sugar. Then he was talking about his diabetes. And I was like, dude. And he's Native American. I'm also a quarter Native American. My dad is Portuguese and Native American. And he was like, oh yeah, well, you know, we just have really poor health. And I like, something in me just like snapped. And I was like, no, actually we were like, our bodies were like exactly what a healthy human should be like. We were athletic, we were sleek, we were slender, we were muscular. So not until we were put on reservations and given junk food and cod liver oil with alcohol in it that made everyone fucking alcoholics did we then become whatever the Native American population is being ailed with now. I was like, I couldn't even hold it in. I couldn't even hold it back. So, and it's like, there is something, and just go and meet and talk to people. And they're like, oh, well, everyone in my family has this. And it's like, I see how you treat your body. So imagine if you didn't treat your body that way, what your body would end up looking like. It just gave me that same exact feeling when I was in the CVS, which don't even get me started on CVS being a health hub. Not one thing about CVS is a health hub. If anything, it's the antithesis of a health hub. It's a deathbed hub. But society has made it this weird badge of honor to be like, well, I don't eat organic. I don't take protein. I you know, we are just, this is how my family is. We all just die this way. And I'm like, what the fuck has happened? I just don't even know what to say. So when the guy was ringing me up, you know, honestly, lead by example, because when you try to tell people how to behave, what do? They get defensive. So I didn't even say to him, "Oh, well, you should look into drinking some protein, bro." No. And here's the thing. Walking is free. Push-ups are free. Squats are free. I work out for free in my apartment every day, and then I go for a walk, which is free. So we really don't have an excuse. And a sugary box of cereal is $10. You could get 6 bananas, 3 yogurts, and a thing of granola with that same $10. It's not that, yes, I definitely agree food is expensive right now, but when I go to CVS, like the food there is not really cheap. So why not just learn how to be crafty with those bananas? You could make, and a little bit of flour, you can make banana pancakes. We could make our own butter. I know I'm going on a tangent. I digress. I'm sorry. But it's like, it really just, I've had enough. I've been on this earth for 40 fucking years, and if you want to think I'm conceited and full of myself for caring about my health, for eating healthy, who do I think I am? I think I'm deserving of that. So that's my rant. And now, seriously though, our brain needs protein. All right, I digress. Let me talk about some great stuff. I was an educator at my old hair studio, or the salon that I had worked in Montclair, New Jersey, and I hadn't really done very much education since I've been in Arizona, and I love educating. I have a Gemini rising. I literally am built to communicate, tell a story, teach. I got to teach a curly cutting class today, and I just love being in front of a crowd. Like yes, I get like nervous and butterflies and all of that stuff, but I fucking love it. And I love talking to people. I love teaching. I love doing hair. I fucking just love that everything that I did as a child, acting, you know, painting, every single one of my interests as a child, I've been able to turn it into a very, very fulfilling career. And I'm so fucking thankful for that. There's just something about getting up there and giving people the tips and tricks that took me 13 plus years to accumulate, and I can just give it all to you in a 2.5-hour class. So it was a wonderful way to start my Monday. We set this class up like 5 months ago, and you know, I call it anticipatory anxiety, but instead of having anxiety about it, I just have been thinking about how exciting it was going to be for the last 5 months, or it was like 5 months. And I just am so excited. I love educating, and I love educating around hair and beauty and ergonomics and fucking all of it. I just love it so much. That like leads me into another thing. I was on TikTok and there was a girl talking about like parallel universes and deja vu and all that stuff. And I really, honestly, I often wonder if the universes are happening at the same time. Because when I was walking Iggy this morning, I was walking him in my courtyard, but it was like a weird kind of like, in my memory, in my mind, I was actually walking by the reservoir in New Jersey. Like there's a place in New Milford where you can like drive to the reservoir, and we all used to like walk our dogs there. And even though I was here in my courtyard walking Iggy, And it was early in the morning. It was like 5:45. It was very, very early. I was like walking him there. And it just gave me, it wasn't like a deja vu feeling, but it gave me that, like a similar, like, what was that? Because I was like, is it because I'm half asleep? Is it because, it was so weird. But there have been so many other instances where I've been in situations, heard something, acted with that, and then it like rerouted what was going to happen. And it's just so strange. Like, was I walking by the reservoir with Iggy in a parallel universe, but in this universe, I'm here walking in the courtyard? Very, very interesting. Like, has there ever been an instance in your life where, like, I'll just give you exactly what happened. I was going through a very rough time as a teenager. My mom was trying to frame me because she stole all of my acting and modeling money, and she panicked. Instead of being a normal person and being like, I love you, we made a bad choice, we're gonna do right by you, she panicked, and because she has a child's mind, she attacked. So she was like, if I can just get Candice into a rehabilitation center, she called my agents and managers in New York and told them that I spent it all on drugs or whatever. How does a 15-year-old get money out of the bank? She doesn't. So anyway, I'm sitting she takes me out of class in the middle of the day, no lunch. She doesn't feed me. I'm at this evaluation, and out of nowhere, I hear, ask for the patient's Bill of Rights. Because they're like, you cannot leave here until you give a urine sample. And I was like, let me see the patient's Bill of Rights. I was 15. I don't know where that fucking came from. The evil that came over their face at High Focus in, I forget, Ridgefield, New Jersey. No, not Ridgefield. It had to be like Paramus. But the evil that came over her face was like, she was like, who the fuck told you? She didn't say this, but her face said it all. Who the fuck told you to ask for the patient's Bill of Rights? Me, as an older person. Ask for the patient's Bill of Rights. Anyway, in the patient's Bill of Rights, I did not have to submit a urine sample. Right there, thank you very much. My mother was furious. Now, there's another part of the story which I screwed myself over. We'll talk about it on a different day. But I did end up fucking myself over. And that is a great, we know about this, my guardian angel. When she came to me in the yellow Volkswagen Beetle, she had blonde hair in Paramus, New Jersey. She watched my boyfriend push me over onto the ground. And then he and I, later that day, ended up getting arrested. Ended up having to go to High Focus. So, guardian angels are real. I 100% don't know where I knew to ask for the patient's Bill of Rights. But I was not meant to be in High Focus. Because I ended up having to go when I got myself into trouble. And I was a regular teenage girl, just smoking pot, having a little drinking every once in a while, to being around heroin addicts, crackheads, like real suffering addicts. We'll talk about that in another day. But I don't know. Have you ever had a weird, crazy instance where out of nowhere, this information comes into your head and reroutes your destiny, essentially? I totally fucking believe it. I just do. It was so weird when I was walking in this morning and I was like, weird, because in my mind, I am at the reservoir. And out of all the places that I could be, why would I pick there? That was what weirded me out. I was thinking to myself, why the reservoir? You know? It was just so weird. But I'm so sure in the fact that if we think that this life is just go to work, go to Target, go pay bills, like this world is so fucking magical, and we have all been conditioned and broken down to not even be able to realize the magic. When we talk about manifestation, got to be careful with manifestation too. Because you could manifest something, but it might be the fucking devil. I'm not even kidding. I manifested my ex-husband to a T, 6'2", blonde, like beard, everything, and he was the devil. You know, he wasn't the devil, but he was not in a great frame of mind ever in my observation of him and his therapist's observation of him. So you do have to be super careful about manifestation. But if we just remembered how magical this life is, and I know I'm saying like magical, like what does that even encompass? I'm talking about like telekinesis, telepathy, astral projection. If you realized how dumbed down of a version of life we've been programmed to accept, like I'm sure we've all had interactions with the very, very wealthy. They don't need passports to get in and out of countries. They don't follow the same rules that we do. We're the fucking idiots who are like, oh, that's a curbside pickup parking only area. Let's not park there. Like that is a curbside pickup spot is that's made up, okay? No. A rich person would have absolutely not even a shadow of a doubt, bloop, pull right in. And they have that kind of life because they expect it. The baby boomers, they all had houses and kids and cars and vacations because they expected it. We have been programmed to be like, oh, no, may I have a morsel, Sir Gates, Lord Gates, may I have a morsel of sunshine? Like, that is what I'm saying about magical. They, the 1%, they know, they expect it. They expect servants. They expect drivers. They expect to be paid a lot of money. Like, that is the difference from what, and every generation, we're conditioned to desire and expect less and less and less and less. Like, think about Europe. Think about the architecture of Europe. Think about the ceilings of Europe. They expected talent, the best, opulence. And then little by little, you know, we've been conditioned to be like, we will own nothing and be happy. Wake up. Wake the fuck up, people. And America is going toward fascism. I don't even care. Like, everyone who told me Trump was going to lead us into World War III. Really? Because it looks like your fucking guys are doing it. Everyone who's like, equality, wants the least equality. Everything that's up is down. I like the fact that like everyone is like toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is a man putting on a dress and saying he's a woman. How fucking insulting is that? Women, are you not insulted by this? Like, do we love men or do we hate men? Because, like, I still hate the patriarchy. And the patriarchy to me is a man having the audacity to put on a woman's outfit and say that he is a biological woman. I can't. I can't. And to say, like, you want to talk about pollution, you want to talk about microplastics, you want to talk, what the fuck do you think is causing all of this stuff? Like, endocrine disruptors, weed killers, whatever they're spraying in the skies, everything. Like, what? Of course we're going to have these outcomes. Our body is organic. Our hormones are susceptible to environmental products and toxins. So like, that is where I'm at in this world. What the fuck is going on? And, you know, we have the AI and we have all of this stuff. And I just, honestly, I don't want to hear it for not one more second about TikTok being banned. They've been saying TikTok was going to be banned for 3 years now. I don't want to hear it. Do it then. Do it. That is the difference between people who grew up tough as fucking nails and little wimpy pain in the asses. The sky is falling. The sky is falling. And us who've had to endure, do it then. Do it. When people want to talk to me why I believe in conspiracy theories, because I was 8 miles away sitting in history class when the World Trade Centers went down. I was 17 years old sitting in history class, first period, watching the second tower get hit. Like, kids in my class, their parents were there, they got out, they were fine. But we all knew so many people whose husbands, whose nephews, whose cousins, whose sons, daughters, aunts, uncle didn't get out. And then when you want to look into who owned the lease for the property, and Donald Rumsfeld and building number 6, like, you want to talk about why I give these things breath? Because I've been on this earth for a while. And everything they've told us so far, that we're crazy, has become true. We are not alone. If you think that there are not other beings out in the galaxy, like, do you even have 2 fucking brain cells to rub together? So, yeah, question it. Question fucking everything. Make people uncomfortable. If you see someone being mean or nasty to a child or an animal, speak the fuck up. Because decades, centuries of not has gotten us to exactly where we are right now. And it ain't in a good place. All right? TikTok is just a barrage of everything that we don't need to know. And from the looks of it, we need to be using our voices more. And I do want to say, nobody hates a protest more than me. I participated in 1 protest in my entire life, and still thinking back on it gives me douche bumps about myself, like, ew, brother, ew. But like, I don't think that a big crowd does the trick. I think that it is leading by example. I think that it is one little ripple. Like, I don't want to see a crowd. I don't want to see a crowd. I don't want to see I don't want to see like a speaker. I don't. Gives me like anxiety. Which, let's talk. This is going to lead me into I swear to God, I have a cat hair in my eye. But this is going to lead me into, let's talk about changing our lots in life. The whole Bethany Frankel's losing her mom has really brought up a lot of questions in my own mind. Like, okay, let me organize my thoughts. She is in the romanticizing the relationship with her mother phase of the grieving, and she needs that because we need good qualities in our family to feel proud of. And I think for a long time, Bethany really dumbed her mother down, which in turn dumbed herself down. Now, okay. How do I like word this? Because in my mind, it's making sense, but I want it to make sense when it comes out of my mouth. Because when it comes to like listening to true crime and all of this stuff, it's like, so and so grew up poor, did this, did that, and was just so resentful they killed, the person they worked for. Or Bethany, like, coming from a broken home, coming from a difficult relationship with her mom, and being like a 53-year-old woman and still not having those relationships in her life, except like her daughter, absolutely. But when I heard her talking about how she was happy that Bryn had grandparents and they have family reunions, and Bryn has like an extended family, but Bethany is not involved in that extended family. Like, even though her and Jason broke up, Bethany, obviously he was so awful to her. Like, how could she possibly even feel comfortable sitting at a dinner table with him? But it turned out, yeah, that like she could not escape that lot in her life of being, a loner, essentially. She has money, she has security wealth, she has like that physical wealth now and that safety, but she still doesn't have, and like, this is what I want to see. I want to see Bryn grow up and have a family, and Bethany have the opportunity to be like a hands-on grandmother. And I would really feel like vindicated for her. But I just think so much about, when I was little and when I was born, I looked at my family members and I was like, bro, we could do so much better than this. Like, God gave us looks, God gave us health, God gave us all homes, God gave us, like, we were all smart and talented and had we had the opportunity, if we wanted it, to better our lives. And like my family, and I was like, hello, clearly we could do this. This is easy. Now, as I've gotten older, and I'm still fighting up that current, like, I'm going to make such a better life for myself than what I came from, even though everyone that I came from had every fucking tool for great success, all good looking, all smart, all fucking funny, all motivated and hard workers if they wanted to be, but now I'm trying to escape that lot in my life of, accepting less than what I'm deserving of, and kind of saying like, I'm never going to be in a relationship ever again. I look around and everyone is so much further ahead of me. And so what I'm trying to kind of like reconcile with is, at what point do you just say, you know what? I'm going to stop fighting the inevitable. I'm going to make the best life that I can make for myself. But if that doesn't accept me, if they don't accept me, if I'm not invited into the reindeer games, then I'm not going to fucking go. And you know what? I'm going to be happy about it. Like, that is where I'm at. Not that I don't want to continue to strive to have the best life that I could ever have. But when I look at certain things, like, some people just have bad luck with watches. Some people just have bad luck with cars, or they have bad luck when they go on vacation. Like, that's what I mean. Have you ever met a person who just like always had shitty luck with bike tires, or always had shitty luck with, you know, what could they do? What can we do to really escape? And some of those issues might be more benign than others. Like some people might just have bad luck, I don't know, with matching socks. Other people might have bad luck with owning homes. It's a variable. Like it's a scale of variables. And just like looking at Bethany, you know, she's tried so hard in her life. And yes, she has broken the chains in a lot of different ways. But then she's still, I think she's single. I don't think her and Paul are still together. She can't crack the code of relationships. So I want to raise that. I want to raise a few different topics today. One, like, can we break these deeply ingrained bad luck streaks? Like, can we do that? What else? Just like, have you ever had a moment where something came into your head and you're like, where did that come from? You know, do you really understand that life is so much more than what we've been sold? And the fact that we've all been so fucking dumb, we're dumb enough to be like, okay, I'll take Target and Walmart. We could be having Da Vinci. We could be having cathedrals. We could be having ornate paintings on our ceilings. And we're just, and see, like it all kind of wraps into each other. That we've all just said, you know what? We don't want to fight for what's better. And we just accept what's being handed to us. Y'all, what the fuck? What the fuck? I don't even know if I want to talk pop culture today. This just might have been my stream of consciousness. Welcome to Monday. I can't believe we've all accepted morsels, crumbs, a dangling carrot. We've accepted that we're out of shape. We've just accepted, you know, what? This is the most delicious thing in the entire world. I know it has fucking seed oil in it, all right? Until I can figure out how to make my own, I'm drinking this. So what are your thoughts? I just want us all to wake up and to ask for more and to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Do you know anyone? Let's make this like an inspirational episode today. And I actually have a guest coming on, hopefully in the next week or two, that might actually tie into this. Like, have you ever known someone to be able to take constant bad luck in an area and turn it around? Like, that's what I want to know. Have you ever known somebody to have horrible relationships for like 40 years and then suddenly have the best fucking relationship you've ever seen with somebody? Like, have you ever seen someone who struggled in a career for 30 years or struggled finding a career? Like, I want to know about the job hoppers who just couldn't get it right for like 30 years. And then out of nowhere, like a cool situation comes up, they take the opportunity and it ends up being like their fucking meant to be path in life. Do you know anyone who was horrible with money for like 50 years of their life and then suddenly turned it around? Like, flood my comments with stories like that. I don't care if you came from a good family. I don't care. Your success doesn't impress me. The way I'm impressed is somebody who clawed their motherfucking way, all right, through the muck and the mire. and had nothing but bad influences all around them and people that they didn't want to be like. And they might have dipped a little bit into that side, but they pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and they turned it around and they ended up being super successful. Those are the kinds of stories that we need, because honestly, good families, supportive families, they're the exception, not the rule. And until we could all figure it the fuck out and be good people in this world and be a part of good, healthy families, it's more of us who come from shit. And we have no role models. None. It's either you come from privilege and you do great things, or you come from shitty people and you become shit. There's very, very few stories that this person was chained to the wall and raped and molested for 30 years, escaped, went to college, and now owns 3 homes, has 5 kids, and a loving husband or wife. Like, those are the stories that we need, because that people who abuse children or abuse their spouse or abuse their animals, they do it because they want to condition you for control. It's called grooming. Okay? And everything that's going on in this world, I'm sorry, but it's disgusting. And I saw a tranny, drag queen, whatever, twerking in front of a child. Like, what the fuck is going on? Okay? I want to see people who come out, because once you're abused, society wants to slap a scarlet letter on you, put you in a folder, fucked up, and oh, she died, he died. Oh, well, you know, they were fucked up. They came from a really fucked up family. Abusers do that to continue their supply. They like to talk about it, how bad you're doing. They love to see how bad you're doing. It's like you're giving your future ammunition for their addiction until you kill yourself or you die or something happens to you. We need role models because there aren't any. So now we're harnessing the role models of people who came from fucking horrible environments and ended up being a great, productive citizen in society. Because I don't care that you came from a good family and now you're doing great things. Cool. Okay? Like, duh, given. Like, please, no sympathy for me. But if you fucking really had to go through shit and people dragged you and dragged your name and abused you, and you came out the other side educated, loving yourself, not doing fucking whack shit like cutting yourself and drinking and drugs, and no. We have to become psychotically protective of ourselves, because I don't know what's going on in the world. It's not good. It's not good. I think it's never been good, but I think we're really grasping the fact that it's horrendous now. We have to be strong. We have to be fit. We have to be healthy. We have to be well rested. And that's like a whole other thing that we will talk about in future episodes is, you know, do you know how incredibly difficult it is to be successful as a child, whether it be in sports, whether it be in school or academics? If you're coming from a home where people are fighting in the middle of the night, you're not getting well, there's no nutritious food, there's no vitamins, there's no doctor's visits. Like, it is so incredibly impossible to do great things as a child without those basic fundamental nutrients in your life. When you're looking around right now, I see broken families, I see broken children, I see no guidance, I see weak leaders, and these kids are fucking floundering. Okay, they're just kids. They as when we turn 18, the nutrients, the sleep, the exercise, it becomes our responsibility. But when they're kids, so this whole society is grooming the younger generations to be a narcissistic supply later in life for them to complain about, for them. No, they should be in sports. They should be in violin lessons. They should be like doing chores. They should be going to bed at 8 o'clock. They should be having structure, having rules. Like, so I'm just telling you right now, whoever's running this country, they want a country of victims in poor health and poor mental health. And basically, unless you're involved in a horrible accident, those things are completely in your control. So I say it all the time. If you are a young person and you are living in a family and they're purposely destroying your mental health, don't tell them, but start going to the gym, start working out, start eating healthy. And you're going to have to do it in secret, because if they see you doing things for your mental health and for your health in general, they're going to sabotage every single thing that you're trying to do. They're going to throw out your walking shoes. They're going to throw out, oh, your protein bar, I thought it was expired. They're going to, anything that you try to do, they're going to rip the arm of your backpack. So if that's what you use to put weights in, they're going to put a little rip in it so it rips. And so you can't even use that. Like, we all have to understand how sick and fucked up some people's families are, and how you have to think for yourself and be like a little chess player and stay healthy until you could get yourself out of these situations. Because those families, they want you drunk. They want you poor, with poor spending habits. They want you out of shape. I'm telling you all right now, we have to get it the fuck together, because America is falling apart at the seams. And I really just don't want to have to be boots on the ground. So if we could maybe like lift the vibe now, we could get it together. And health and mental health, be very careful what mental health professionals you have in your life as well, because let's not forget all of the doctors who recommended lobotomies. We have to be very careful. I grew up in a time where you vetted your doctors, you got a second opinion, you didn't trust them. I don't know what's going on in America right now. I don't know what's going on in the world, but it's not good, specifically in America. So let's get it together. Snap, snap, snap. Go do fucking push-ups, because we need to be in tip-top shape for whatever's coming. And I don't think it's the TikTok ban. I had to. I have to talk about this stuff because I feel like nobody else is. And it's driving me crazy. So I love you all. I'm going to have a guest soon. We're going to talk so much about our subconscious, setting it free. You let me know in the comments below, what topics should we cover? Do you have any questions about it? And we're going to get into it. So I love you all so much. Thank you for tuning in. I know this was like a little bit of a rant, but I'm looking around and I'm like, is everybody just like a yes person? That's how Hollywood gets into so much trouble, is because they just surround themselves with yes people, and then they're knee deep in a cocaine addiction, and no one's going to step in and say, bro, you got a problem. Like Betty Ford. So this is me Betty Fording. I love you all. I am excited to be teaching again. I'm excited for this week of clients. We're coming out of the retrograde energy. We're moving into the spring, summer. So let's harness that energy, and we're in control. We're in control of ourselves. We can't control anything outside of us, but we can control ourselves. What we say to ourselves in our minds, how we treat our bodies. And just remember, honestly, healthy food actually is cheaper. You just have to prepare it. So that's all I'll say. I love you. Mwah. Ciao, Bellas. And we'll talk more pop culture this week, but I love you. All right, bye.